Welcome to What in the World, where we cover stories from the strange to the fascinating. I'm Ricardo Aguilar.
And I'm Catherine Smith. Let's get started with our first three stories for today.
A man in New York faked his own abduction just so that he could get out of paying a Super Bowl pool. The man organized the pool and was supposed to pay around $50,000. He reported to police that two men robbed him of $16,000, drove him around for 2 days, and left him tied in a car. He showed no signs of trauma, and investigators found the man had entered fake names into the pool to try and take most of the winnings. He has been charged with fraud and falsely reporting an incident.
Minnesota police received a call to check up on a man standing outside in the cold, hugging a pillow. They arrived only to find a cardboard cutout of MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. From a distance, the cutout looked real enough, and the caller certainly did not want to step outside into the freezing weather. Word of the incident even reached Lindell himself, who found it quite humorous. Minnesota police have also received calls of people mistaking a homeless Jesus sculpture as a real person.
A prankster in Muskego, Wisconsin sparked a 911 call while donning a full-body panda suit. The man wanted to prank his neighbors and their surveillance cameras, as well as pick up his daughter from school, whose favorite animal was the panda. Muskego authorities were contacted as the caller found the panda's presence suspicious, as pandas were not native to the state. Police came into contact with the panda and found nothing criminal going on, even checking to see if the panda was at the right house. So cardboard cutouts, for me personally, I kind of find them kind of unsettling, especially they're like, if you see it from a distance, they do really look like real enough, and yet they're just standing there, just doing nothing there. It's like, what's going on?
I absolutely agree. Growing up, I had a few friends that were absolutely obsessed with Justin Bieber and the Jonas Brothers, so they would have cardboard cutouts. And of course, they would stick them in the most convenient way possible in the corner of their room. So when you turn off the lights at night, the light just hits it at a perfect scene. So that way it looks the most creepiest as possible. And that's one of the things I just never understood. Like, I was never somebody that was obsessive with music brands such like that, but I would never put myself to get a cardboard cutout of an individual and put it in my room.
Yeah, I don't even feel like I want to and then sleep over there at a friend's house if there's a cardboard cutout there, because those shadows, it just keeps you up at night for longer than it probably should.
I absolutely agree. So in that story, I understand why somebody would want to be calling the police and be afraid for somebody's well-being, because it looks so real. And at the end of the day, you want to be concerned about something that's like that.
Yeah, especially since why is this guy looks real enough, and why is he standing out in the cold with a pillow? We should probably call the police instead of go investigating ourselves, and maybe there's some weird stuff going on. But yeah, funny enough, it was just the MyPillow CEO. Anyways, we'll be taking a short break. Stay tuned.
Oregon was stuck in his car for 5 days alongside his dog, both surviving only on Taco Bell hot sauce packets. The vehicle got stuck in the snow and was too deep for either of them to hike out. The man started up the vehicle from time to time to keep warm, and eventually a snowmobiler found both of them and contacted authorities. They were hungry, but overall still in good health. Taco Bell plans to send the man a care package as well as providing him Taco Bell for a full year.
A man in Denmark finally gets his nose unblocked after 2 years. However, the cause of the blockage was a tooth growing in his nostril. The man was experiencing congestion problems as well as a loss of his sense of smell. The tooth had been there most of his life, but the symptoms were late onset. Currently, the cause of this medical condition is unknown, as only 23 other patients with the condition have been reported from 1959 to 2008.
A Florida man recently rescued a grandma from floating away on a throne of ice in Iceland. The woman was visiting the country with her son and found people taking pictures and sitting upon the ice throne. When she decided to get on herself, a large wave came by and dislodged the ice, floating away. The Florida man happened to be boating nearby and went to rescue the woman without issue. The woman was calm during the event and states she has no regrets.
A fight occurred at a buffet in Huntsville, Alabama over some crab legs. A man and a woman were both waiting up to 20 minutes for more crab legs to be brought out, and both admitted that they let their tempers get the best of them. The resulting fight had the two even use tongs as swords to win the coveted sea meat. Police arrived to the scene and promptly arrested the two. The man has been charged with disorderly conduct and the woman with third-degree assault. Both could face a fine of a few $100s.
Now my question is, how does a tooth end up in your nose?
I don't know. It's like kind of like a weird growth thing or something, or maybe like facial damage, perhaps. Maybe in the past.
I could understand maybe if like a tooth, like I've had many friends whose teeth have not either grown in properly or that they've had them higher in their gums. Mm-hmm. But I've never heard of somebody having a tooth dislodged in their nose.
Yeah, because it's kind of like high up there. Like here's the tooth, and then there's the nose there.
That is just incredibly odd to me, but something that I would love to learn more about is how this granny feels when she got dumped into the ice by this wave. I follow her on social media and I think she's one of the greatest grannies out there, but one of the things that to me is that she doesn't have any regrets getting up on that ice throne.
Yeah, she did not like it. She was, I guess you can say she was pretty cool about it.
Pun intended, most definitely.
Pun intended,
but to me, that is just believed to be in her character because she is somebody that has been so infamous on Instagram with all of her posts and her style and everything such as that. So to me, having no regrets is just the way to live when it comes to being granny.
I always found like kind of grandmas like always pretty cool and such. Like I've known like friends of grandmas and like my own grandma just still kind of doing cool things, even like even though they're kind of like up there in their senior age. And it's always good to see like even though your age might be like kind of high, it doesn't mean you can't just not go and do cool things.
Absolutely, I totally agree. We'll be right back with some more strange stories. Stay tuned.
What does it mean to be a war hawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a war hawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the war hawk way.
Video One Media Services provides accomplished students the opportunity to enhance their college experience by working with real-world clients. In addition, we provide clients local and affordable video options to better enhance their media needs. For more information on how Video One Media Services can help you with your next media project, Email or call our office at 262-472-5659.
UW Whitewater Weatherhawks is a student-ran organization which promotes learning about weather and climate. If you love to watch storms and want to learn more about them, this is the club for you. Also build friendships by getting hands-on experience. Provide weather-related information to media outlets and promote activities throughout the Whitewater community. So join Weatherhawks today.
Rome Mayor Virginia Raggi recently announced the site where Julius Caesar was assassinated will reopen in the year 2021. The area was excavated in the 1920s but remained closed to the public. Throughout the years, the overgrown area has become known as a sanctuary for stray cats. The $1.1 million restoration project will add lights, restrooms, and walkways, and artifacts will be moved to a museum. The project will attempt to avoid the cat sanctuary.
Lightsaber dueling recently became an official sport in France. The French Fencing Federation hopes this new take on fencing will attract younger people to the sport, as well as fight against obesity. The swords themselves are LED-lit, polycarbonate replicas, and some of them even sound like the real deal. Lightsaber dueling will come with a new set of rules, such as the fight taking place in a circle instead of a rectangular strip. Don't expect to be able to slice someone's hand off like in the movies, though.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time on What in the World?